I wasn't immediately assuming he had other intentions at all. I was just like, he probably, because I always thought he was just like a nice teacher.
Good evening. For the first time tonight, we're hearing from a former student about unwanted physical contact from a teacher.
The case involving Patrick Power has some parents demanding accountability. 7 girls and teens accused Power of questionable behavior towards them. The school allowed Power to retire without filing a complaint to the state or to police. In this latest development, it's a story that you'll only see here on 12 News. What this graduate of Casteel High School has to say to our own Joe Dana about what she experienced is an alert to parents and school leaders. Joe?
It's the embarrassment and shame that this young woman felt, even though she did nothing wrong, that gives you an idea of how tough it can be for someone to speak out who's been the target of alleged mistreatment.
I didn't want like students to blame me for the reason he got fired.
Grace Kimmel graduated from Casteel High School last year. Looking back, she says she saw several red flags from her theater teacher, then 66-year-old Patrick Power.
And I was up at his desk trying to pull up something from my email. And I don't know, I guess I was like struggling or something. So he decided to put his hand over my hand while I was using the mouse, while my hand was sandwiched between his hand and the mouse.
There were visits to her workplace.
He would show up to my job and he would just order like a water. And I was always working the drive-through and he would just like stop by and he'd be like, "Oh, I'm just saying hi, I know you work here."
During the holidays, Power gave her a stuffed animal.
And I just kind of set it off as like, "Oh, he just got this for me because I'm president." But it was weird that he got me like this big stuffed animal.
Then, while on a field trip,
While I was sitting alone and he asked me if I wanted to go to a gun show with him.
Grace considered complaining to the school.
I'd been in the program for years. I was president of the club. I didn't want to be the reason that this teacher got fired in the middle of a musical that we were putting on.
But she wrote a complaint to administrators.
And then he retired the next day.
What Grace did not know then was a month earlier, a younger girl complained to the school about Power, prompting a school investigation. It documented 5 junior high age girls who gave the school varying accounts of Power, making unwanted physical contact on their waist, back, and hands. One girl cried, even mentioning his name. Another girl called him scary. But the school gave Power a second chance.
They were on the teacher's side. They weren't on the student's side. That's what I feel.
Knowingly touching another person.
Since Power's retirement in 2021, some parents have demanded the state hold administrators accountable for never filing a police report against Power. The district says administrators took the advice of the school resource officer. That SRO disputes the school ever told him about the complaints. While the State Board of Education reviews the case, Grace wants kids to know it's worth stepping forward.
I feel like you just need to confide in someone, whether it's a school counselor, a teacher you trust, or your parents.
Power has given up his teaching certificate. He faces no criminal charges. An attorney representing Power tells us Mr. Power is profoundly saddened by the allegations against him, and he vehemently denies them. For the latest on the claims and the school district's response, you can go to this story right now at 12news.com. Joe Dana, 12 News.